Play.
And that is one thing that Rybakina has over Yastremska, isn't it? And pretty much every player, that serve is a dream.
When I saw the news Katrin about Goran joining the team, right away my image was, okay, Rybakina is going to even serve bigger and be coming to the net as much as possible, and we already see this at the beginning of the year.
A 40-11. Oh. Cain, Rybakina.
Is it the best serve on the WTA Tour, Danny?
The first game.
Oh, good question. I would say so. Most accurate, and because she's so tall, she's able to create angles that other players struggle with.
There is a fellow Wimbledon champion coach, Goran Ivanisevic.
I have to say he's been hitting the gym every morning, very keen to do his weight workout, pretty much train at the same time.
I think life's a bit calmer now for him that he's
Dayana
not coaching
Yastremska
Novak Djokovic, isn't it?
One of the keys for Dayana today will be to keep the length of her ground strokes, so Rybakina will not have the opportunity to step in.
Oh. 15-on.
I think that's going to be the key for both of them, actually. They both strike the ball very similarly, a lot of pace, both very aggressive. So I think the depth off of both of their ground strokes is going to be a big factor today. Mm.
$30.
It's almost like mirror against mirror playing, just Rybakina being a taller version.
Let's second service.
Looks to be timing the ball well right from the off, Rybakina, doesn't she?
Yeah, it will be huge for Diane to make sure she hits a lot of first serves, because Rybakina will be all over that second serve. That's a big difference between them. Rybakina's second serve, it's much more efficient.
Halt. Advantage, Yastremska. Game, Yastremska.
Yeah, she's going to need to be serving at a high percentage of first serves in today, isn't she, Yastremska? And she'll be well aware of that. Coach Matisse De Maio is electing to sit courtside with the whole team. Goran and Team Rybakina electing to sit in the stands today. Totally up to the players and the coaches which are the options they go for.
Love 15.
They both play very similarly too off the ground as far as the height over the net. Yastremska gets a little bit more height with the forehand side, and the backhand side is very flat, hits through the court. So it's really effective when she's been able to penetrate that backhand side, because Rybakina has just been a little late. Rybakina asking the chair umpire something I couldn't quite hear, but pay attention to that.
Out. 15-0.
And again, Rybakina not moving to that. I mean, it was a rocket from the Yastremska racket, but do just need to keep an eye on Rybakina here. We think she might have mentioned a knee issue to the umpire.
Let first service. Halt.
No issue there.
No issue with that rally, but I feel like on the serve she's not really using her legs fully to get up. So let's just keep an eye on it. Let's hope it's nothing too serious.
Out. 40-13.
It's a bit of a cheap error off a second serve there for Yastremska on a 30-all point, but that's the way she plays, isn't it? It's casino tennis a lot of the time from the Ukrainian.
Deuce.
Oh, you spoke about the conditions earlier and how much hotter it is. And I was here last night, too, for the Pegula match. And it was cold last night. And you can see the difference in the speed of the ball when it's a little bit hotter. It's just going off the court, off the bounce, so much faster. The ball's a lot quicker through the air.
Out.
And it just makes you have to be a little bit more alert right off that first step.
Yastremska.
She looked a bit sluggish there, didn't she, Jill? Stuck in the mud a bit. Rybakina facing a break point here.
Deuce.
It's also hard to tell how Rybakina is feeling because she shows so little emotions.
Advantage. Yastremska.
One thing she should definitely adjust, Rybakina, it's maybe changing her racket, because most of the mistakes she's doing, it's hitting the ball too long. So it seems like her strings are a little bit too loose for this temperature.
Deuce.
She has played both her previous matches in the day session, and it has been sunny, but it's hotter today, as Jill was saying, and this is a different level of opponent, quite frankly, that she's facing. She's played 2 teenagers thus far, Rybakina. Both of them still in the phase of transitioning from the juniors to the seniors, so she's kind of had it all her own way, but Yastremska doing a better job of rushing Rybakina, who does seem to be struggling, I think, with some sort of back issue. We might be seeing the trainer after this point if she gets it. Which she does.
Rybakina.
2-1 Rybakina. Let's see what happens here.
Rybakina leads by 2 games to 1.
So just looking back at some of Rybakina's movement in the 3 games so far, trying to establish what could have happened, whether she's carried something onto the court. Did originally see her, here, clutching at her left knee, but it's possible that she was stretching out her back there. We do understand the back is what's been cited to the umpire when the physio was Danny with a back issue, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. The serve would be, I would imagine, the shot that gets most effective if you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Elena Rybakina will receive an off-court medical timeout.
What's worrying is that it's such an early stage of the match. Yeah.
And also hasn't had that much time on court, as you guys alluded to early on before this match started. Rybakina just on the court for a little over 2 hours so far in her first couple matches, so hopefully it's not too serious. Looking over at the team, they don't look tremendously concerned, which is a good sign, but even after some of her serves, you could see she was wobbling on that knee a little bit, so hopefully it's okay.
Angelina, stop now, please.
Copy that. Starting 3 minutes now.
Around the grounds, and I have to say it's one of the tournaments that even as a player, you know, you normally come and play your matches, you do the media practice, and then you want to get out of the site. But this is the tournament that everyone kind of just wants to be around, hanging around and just absorbing the atmosphere.
I get that. Jill, the same for you?
I'm getting distracted by this song right now. I love this song.
they play this song all the time, Sweet Caroline. You can hear it, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm struggling not to sing along up here.
It's really tempting. I even think Yastremska waited for a moment for the crowd to get involved before she took some serves as she's trying to stay warm here. But yeah, it's been incredible. Like, I think there were almost 100,000 people that were walking this grounds yesterday throughout the day, which is incredible. But so much entertainment. I mean, people just having fun. There's so many things for the fans to do. Kids Day was last Saturday. There were so many activities for the kids. It's just, they're doing a fantastic job at just being able to entertain everybody.
And I think we are able to appreciate the tournament even more so now doing the media, because as a player, you know, you kind of are restricted. You have to stay around the player lounge, restaurants, and you can't really go in between the fans and really feel the atmosphere. Right now, when we go from one court to another to commentate, you can really, you know, just enjoy being part of this incredible entertainment. And yeah, it can't get better than what it has been the last couple of days.
It just gets better and better every year too.
Yeah, they're very good at that here, aren't they? Never letting the grass grow, never getting complacent. They're always trying to add. And well, you see the fruits of it. Rybakina, treatment administered. We don't know the exact nature of it, but definitely for a back issue. So hard to know if she's got any strapping anywhere. Doesn't look like it, but can't say definitively. But we just cross our fingers that she's fit to compete here. I think we'll find out a lot in this game.
The good thing with Rybakina's game is that even if she struggles with maybe a little bit of a small injury, her game is so much about the first two shots. Sometimes she can get away with winning matches, just, you know, teeing off and going for it and not really having to move as much as maybe other players.
Love 30.
She strikes me, Danny, as a player that could be extra dangerous carrying a bit of a niggle. If she's just trying to hit out, that's a fearsome prospect, as evidenced by the score here. 3 break points.
Yeah, Yastremska definitely has to try to find a way how to make Rybakina move a little bit to test how the back really is, not to try to hit the ball harder than her.
Which might be hard for Yastremska.
Thirty, 40. Game.
Well, that is incredibly loose. Don't want to be too harsh, but that's a pretty unforgivable error from Yastremska. You've surely got to get the ball in play.
Yeah, just anyhow. Try to get Rybakina on the run. Dayana didn't really do it in this game.
Rybakina with the breakthrough. Let's see how she is on serve.
Again, it's just an error that doesn't have to be that good, that close to the line. When you're trying to test Rybakina movement.
What's incredible about these two is they're the type of players that you're not going to necessarily get a great rhythm off of. So what's been impressive is, yes, they're all about that first ball, but to be able to execute on that ball without having much of a rhythm for long rallies is pretty impressive. That didn't look like Rybakina necessarily wanted to stretch on that backhand. I mean, she guessed right, but just kind of put her racket out. Didn't really want to stretch that back that much on that ball.
I think that's one of the reasons why we told Catherine before the match that Yastremska hasn't really been able to follow that semi-final run here for the rest of the season, that it's mistakes like this where you just don't need to go from big to bigger. Just keep the ball in play. It's something Sabalenka has learned so much over the last couple of months, years.
Rybakina leads by 4 games to 1.
Big shots are big enough.
Yep, there is a stubbornness to Dayana Yastremska, isn't there?
It can be a little threatening if you're just trying to rally the ball against someone that plays like Rybakina, where she can just tee off, and just like you both alluded to, with if she is struggling with something with her back, she's going to go after it even more. But Yastremska does have the capability to hang in those long rallies. She can add spin to her forehand to be a little bit safer, to add more margin, but so often than not she chooses not to, because she just has the urge to go after the shots and stay aggressive.
So Dayana Yastremska needs to tighten up her game a little bit here, trailing 1-4 to an opponent that is definitely competitive, but we think a little hampered out here, Rybakina. Nothing to be done about that.
40-11.
I can't decide whether they are more similar on the forehand side or backhand side. What do we think here?
I think the Rybakina backhand, when it's on, is almost peerless.
Yeah. And she does have more of a follow-through inside the court.
And you would know.
40-15.
The double faults are stacking up a bit for Yastremska. Obviously 40 love, not a bad time for one, but herself one on break point in her previous service game. Oh, that's nice.
Yastremska.
Yeah, that's what Jill has been referring to be able to change
Rybakina
direction
leads by 4
at
games
that
to 2.
speed. It's something that I feel like throughout this tournament, players have been able to step it up this year, and with the incredible power and quickness they play these days, the ability to change directions, it's been quite fascinating to watch.
Tested the Rybakina movement a bit there, didn't she?
Love 15.
Yep, and it did not look good.
No, I mean, she can get the first strike in. She's deadly still, but getting her on the move looks a problem. There's the first strike.
So if I'm Yastremska right now, definitely, I know it's hard to do, but to try to open up the court as much as possible with some short angles, slice backhands, drop shots, anything to get Rybakina on the move.
I don't think she can hear you, Danny.
That is definitely not the way to go.
I just think she can help herself. I mean, she wants to be ultra aggressive. When you get a second serve opportunity against Rybakina, you want to try and take it. But the ball, like with the hot weather, the ball is bouncing a lot higher.
I mean, I guess she would say, look, I reached an Australian Open semi-final playing this way. Why would I play any different? But it's horses for courses, isn't it? Well, that first serve does still seem to be firing. The speeds haven't dropped. It does seem to be applying spin to the second serve, which is where Rybakina is affected.
Cain, Rybakina.
Frustrating watch for Team Yastremska, I think, at the moment. Rybakina 5-2.
Leads by 5 games to 2.
She must be a slightly frustrated.
Look for ways how to get better. When you look at Rafa motion on serve, how much that has changed over the years. So yes, stubbornness takes you as far, but then you got to listen and have an open mind as well.
That's a great point. Look at Alcaraz changing his service motion. this year.
Let second service.
You have to have the stubbornness of never giving up, going maybe through uncomfortable situation throughout the match, and traveling the world 11 months of the year. So in the positive way, but then champions always adjust.
Yeah.
15.
Billie Jean King said, and she rarely misses Billie Jean King. Unlike Dayana Yastremska, that's another one in the unforced column for her.
Thirty 15.
I mean, Coco has been able to adjust her grip right before the WTA finals. Darren Cahill expects Sinner to adjust things and work on throughout the matches during the tournament.
And there's such a humility to that, isn't there? It's this balance of totally backing yourself and having ultimate self-belief, but also having the humility to know when you need to change.
Well, that was a great adjustment there. Actually, this is the first time I've seen Yastremska actually play with a little bit more margin. Her backhand has been so flat, so low over the net, but that one was better, had some good height, spin, just better margin on that backhand winner.
Let's see if she can get Rybakina moving here. Serving for the set.
15-11.
And it's not like there has to be a huge adjustment to be done. Just like what Jill was referring to, just a little bit more shape on both her shots will already cut down the unforced error.
Oof. Had the whole court to work with there.
15-0.
Was it still the sun, Jill? Is it still in the...
Yeah, it could have been a little bit. It's pretty bright up there. I think she did a good job of letting it bounce. It just gives you a little extra time to see. I almost feel like she had too many options there.
30-15.
Decent serving numbers for Rybakina, 60% in for this set and winning 78% of those that go in. Well over 50% of second serves won as well, so holding her own more than.
Or 40-15.
And that serve is taking her to 2 set points here.
Oh.
Doesn't need number 2.
Rybakina
Clinches the set at the first time of asking. Rybakina 6-3.
30-11.
First ace of the match for Yastremska.
I think it's one shot that Rybakina has been very effective with. It's that deep ball in the middle of the court. So many times Yastremska tries to hit winner from there, which is almost impossible.
I think also she's not quite in position to hit that ball down the center. I think there's been one time that she got her legs very low, but most of the time on that deep center ball, she's off balance, falling backwards. That's where you have to be a little bit safer with your shot.
A 40-30. Game, Yastremska.
Good hold from Yastremska to start this second set.
First game, second set.
And it's just such a shame that Yastremska doesn't really follow the bounce of the ball and doesn't respect as much what kind of shot her opponents are hitting, because there is so much potential. Her technique is beautiful. It's not like she has to change something there. Obviously, physically very strong. So it's just understanding a little bit more the court positioning and what shot to hit from which position. It's not really a rocket science. Just have to kind of respect more the rules of the tennis, and right away I feel she would make so many less unforced errors.
Is it on the coach as well?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Well, if she is willing to listen. Because that is one of the toughness and also beauty of our sport, that it's always evolving. So if I'm Yastremska and I reach semifinals here, okay, now this is great. This is where my tennis so far has helped me to get. What do I have to do next? Because the tour, the players are always improving all the time. It's a return like this, like there is no reason why that shouldn't be half meter inside the baseline.
Out unforced erroring Rybakina by about 2-1 so far.
I think part of the reason too for Yastremska is when she's playing lights out, she can beat anyone, and it doesn't matter what pattern she has, because when she's on, she can out-hit anyone. But it's those matches where maybe she's not firing on all cylinders that she has to make the adaptation that she hasn't quite figured out yet.
That was a better example.
A tad more variety, but when she's not striking the ball, when she's starting to make unforced errors, because she just unleashes on mostly everything. But it's about then when you're making unforced errors, trying to find a way to adjust.
plus, it's so much more fun when you have a plan B, plan C in your game.
40-30.
You know, you can find different ways to beat your opponents. Then you get so much more locker room respect. Oh, okay, she's not only dominating the rallies, she can actually stay in them. She can defend better. Then you suddenly become more of a complete player, and you get so much more respect from the locker room. Look at Rybakina, one of the best players in the world. What does she do? She hires Goran to add something else to her game. And she's a very aggressive, dominant player herself.
Yeah, I was watching an old match of Sabalenka's from a few years ago. And obviously she's still a power player, but she's added so much to her game.
100%.
That's what I do in my spare time. I just watch old tennis matches.
Advantage, Yastremska.
Okay, well, it's still casino tennis, but it's opened up an opportunity here for Yastremska. Even bigger one now.
Well, good news is that Rybakina was pushed a little bit more on the run of the forehand, and she kind of managed to stay in it. Didn't hold her back afterwards.
Took a little pace off the first serve there. She hasn't made many this set. Just 3 of 9 for Rybakina, and it was punished there. And it's another break point for the Ukrainian. Gets it.
Cain, Yastremska.
Off a brilliantly placed second serve from Rybakina, but Yastremska saw it coming. Was bang on it. And still stretching out that back is Rybakina. It's quite difficult to say exactly how hampered she is, because it's not a game that's based around movement at the best of times for the Kazakh.
Love 15.
She's definitely struggling to reach on
15
that
on.
forehand side in particular. When Yastremska hits quite a big shot, just the first step, as soon as she feels like or thinks she has to move, just that slight hesitation.
Fifteen, 30. 15-14.
Not quite stacking up the double faults, but 4 versus the 1 ace. Not ideal. 2 break points.
Game.
Easy power on the backhand from Rybakina. She breaks immediately back. 2-1, second set.
Yastremska leads by 2 games to 1.
She got very deep in the knees on those backhands, and they were gorgeous shots. But Jill, she did struggle to get up a bit afterwards, didn't she?
Yeah, the last one that just landed out, she kind of held her position low and just didn't want to stand up too quickly, and just didn't want to jerk that part of her body. So just paying attention to it, I think a slight concern, especially when she's on the move, which is feeding into what Danielle's talking about. Yastremska's got to try and figure out how to open the court a little bit more, which I totally agree with. But it's tough. It's tough against a Rybakina's ball because it's so fast and it's so deep. So it's tough to get that opportunity, but that's going to try and be Yastremska's goal, I think. But yeah, she is hampered a little bit. Unfortunately, you can see it.
Time.
It's a stunner of a day in Melbourne Park. Saturday, big one for the locals. It is absolutely teeming with people out there.
It is absolutely incredible atmosphere on the court, off the court, all around the grounds. We couldn't ask for a better day for tennis. The temperature is just perfect. It's getting warmer, but still manageable for the players, and just look how packed it is.
I think we're going to find Danny in Grand Slam Oval later, sampling some of the delights.
Absolutely. And ice cream, that's what it's screaming this afternoon for. I mean, the last game and mistakes like this, it's where you can't help but get frustrating watching Yastremska, because there is, I feel, so much potential. I think this girl should be in the top 10 with her technique and with her physicality. Just learning how to add a few different things to her game, the variety, to hit some higher balls, a little bit more shape on her ground strokes.
Let second service.
See, that return would trouble some players, but not Rybakina.
Well, that's why the speed is not going to trouble Rybakina. So how about hitting it with a little bit more shape to test that bag of Rybakina, hitting some higher balls or anything coming to the net, some variety.
Game, Rybakina.
Smooth as you like from Rybakina.
And basically, I think the tactic from now on for Yastremska should be just try to make 4 or 5 shots in every single rally and make it a really physical match.
That's how I play tennis. Just try and get it in 4 times in a row.
Well, I like that movement a little bit better from Rybakina, because after that first forehand, she was actually showing that she was going to maybe go forward into the net. I know she keeps stretching out her back and testing it, but that looked a little bit stronger to me, that last point.
It is a thing, isn't it, that tennis players, athletes can sometimes really feel a niggle in between points, but once you're within the point, it doesn't go away, but somehow you enter a different zone. Andy Murray used to be the master of that, hobbling around the court and then getting an injection once the rally gets going.
Yeah, it is amazing how much the adrenaline can make the difference. And between the points, you actually have time to think and kind of be more responsive to what you feel to your body. But once you are into the rally, and if you are in the right frame of mind, you don't have the time to think.
And Yastremska is rushing here. She doesn't seem to be thinking clearly at all just now.
And also when, you know, Rybakina is a very smart player, so she must be thinking, well, I'm getting away with this so far, so why should I be worried? Where, if, you know, the rally starts to be a little bit more physical, that's when she starts to doubt herself whether she can get through the match, but not so far.
3 break points.
That was a great ball there from Yastremska. That's a much better adjustment on that deep middle ball. She went for more height, more spin, and got the error. Very good adjustment there.
Halt. Cain, Rybakina.
That is a loose one from Yastremska. It's 3 games in a row for the 6 seed. 3-2 second set.
I mean, it's been such a quick match. We are set for 3 in 1 hour, 3 minutes. I think we will...
In this second set, now a break-up. Rybakina serving 3-2. And that's a great shot, but I guess Rybakina just thinks, okay, fine, you're not going to do that every time.
If she did, she would be top 10.
(30-15).
Lots to take in for Goran today.
Well, the good news is the previous serve was 183, so it's not like she's dropping on the speed there, so meaning the bag, it's manageable at this stage.
Yeah, fastest of the match.
Mm-hmm.
Halt.
Wow.
40-30.
Incredible depth and accuracy. Match feels like it's going quickly now, doesn't it? It's a 4-2 lead for Elena Rybakina. 4 games in a row in this second set. After having trailed love 2, Yastremska's really let it get away from her, and that despite the gift of her opponent clearly being hampered, stretching out her back after every few points is Rybakina.
15-11.
So we still didn't get 2 over 3 shot rallies. Since we are keeping an eye on it.
And this has been the difference here, right? The very first shot, just Rybakina seems a little bit more controlled, and as good a technique as Yastremska has, sometimes she just gets out. Just out of her element a little bit and flails the racket a little bit, where you look over at Rybakina, overall just seems a little bit more stable, under control.
We were about 2 inches away from a 4-shot rally there. Yastremska wins the point, but that was a good reach from Rybakina on that return. Lovely redirect on the forehand.
And that shot had more shape. First time a little bit higher over the net from Yastremska, I believe, in this match.
Game, Yastremska.
So no real rallies, but a hold for Yastremska. Rybakina leads a set and 4-3.
Game is a 3.
Jill, I want you to celebrate like John, the Hot Shots kid that did the Alcaraz coin toss yesterday, if we get a rally of over 4 shots.
I actually haven't seen it, Catherine.
Oh.
I know. I figured I heard you mention it in the beginning, but I'll have to check it out after this match is finished. What, can you give us a little taste?
Well, it's kind of a Rybakina serving with the break, 4-3.
Oh. 15-11.
Thought we had it.
30-11.
But that is the difference there with Rybakina. Okay, so she gets a really deep ball. What does she do? She just hits it a little bit more shape, higher over the net, and right away gets the mistake from Yastremska.
Four 11. Game.
What a hold from Rybakina. This match continues to go very quickly. I actually think the average rally length might be falling.
I was just going to say, let's aim for 2-shot rallies.
From the incredibly low bar of 2.59 average rally length, it does feel like it's tumbling even further. Yastremska serving to stay in the match.
Oh.
Do we know what is the shortest shot average match so far?
Potentially this one, Danny.
Oh. 15-11.
There we go.
That was 6.
Jill, ready for the dance?
15-11.
We've been counting. I've been counting down here. Yeah, I've got some help too. We're all keeping tabs down here.
I mean, that rally alone will bring up the average. Oh, they're like London buses, these rallies.
I mean, when you think about it, shorter than 2.59, it's basically just serve and return. So could be easily one of Goran Ivanisevic matches in the past on grass.
Yeah, he'll be loving this. Hang it in the Louvre, says Goran. 2 points away now is Rybakina.
Oh. Out. 30 over. All
she can do here is force Rybakina to have to serve this out. Lovely. It's a gorgeous shot, the Rybakina backhand, isn't it?
Yeah, and she read it so early, moved there before Yastremska even hit her forehand. And great news again, she was able to reach for that backhand.
Out. Advantage, Rybakina.
Perhaps apt that an unforced error from Yastremska brings up a first match point for the 6th seed.
And use.
Not a bad time for your 3rd ace.
Great placement on the right angle there.
Another good
Advantage,
serve.
Yastremska. Adios.
Number 6 on the double fault front for Yastremska.
Beautiful backing up the line on the
Advantage,
move from Rybakina.
Definitely looks physically stronger now than she did half an hour ago, doesn't she, Rybakina? And that is good to see as she stands at match point number 2.
Out.
She really doesn't want to be in any rallies, does she, Dayana Yastremska? 2nd serve ace, match point down.
That is pretty gutsy. That's pretty gutsy, I have to say.
Oh, that is Dayana Yastremska all over. of that.
Rybakina.
Certainly today. A semi-finalist last year. Her ceiling is so high, Dayana Yastremska, but her floor is low. Great players will tell you that you don't win many matches playing your very best. Match point number 3 for Elena Rybakina. Good body serve there.
Use. Advantage, Rybakina.
I mean, if I'm Rybakina, I would maybe just move a half step a little bit behind, because Yastremska is going for it big time now, just to give herself a little bit more time and space.
Match point number 4.
Use.
Saved again.
Halt! Stop! Stop!
Just an interjection there from the electronic line calling system.
Yes. Okay, so we're fine. Okay, we continue. Okay, thank you.
Good to know.
I believe she might be getting a first serve. I'm not quite sure if that's what the umpire said or not.
Advantage, Rybakina.
Once again, match points to the former finalist.
Thank you.
Halt!
That did look a little bit like it was going
Use.
long for a second. Must have been right on the line.
Halt!
Did well there, didn't she, Yastremska? Very quick up to the net.
I believe that's...
I believe she's
Advantage,
asked
Yastremska.
for the trainer if there is another changeover.
Yeah.
Just hobbled a little bit after that.
Suddenly looks in a bit of strife for Rybakina.
Halt!
Yeah, she doesn't look good.
Halt!
It's incredible.
Use.
This is a bizarre tennis match. I think
Yeah.
it's time to declare that. You can't take your eyes off it, but yeah, not necessarily one for the highlight reel. Back to deuce we go.
Advantage, Yastremska.
I mean, surely if you're Yastremska, by now you know what's going on the other side of the court. So just the golden rule, left and right. Make your opponent move for every single shot. That's all that it should be on Dayana's mind right now.
Advantage, Yastremska.
That is a smart serve into the body.
Is that a big fight, because she knows she's got a wounded opponent here. Game on, 5-4, second set.
Rybakina
that can tweak it again, that can aggravate it. And because all of a sudden the last few points, she wasn't walking the same way. She had a little limp to her walk. The good news for Rybakina is she's a big serve to get her out of situations like this, so she's going to have to rely on that.
Well, it will be interesting to see the first serve of this game, where we stand as far as her back goes. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, all is not well in the world of Elena Rybakina, except for the scoreline. A set and 5-4. She's going to come out to serve for a place in the fourth round. Can she hold it together physically enough to get over the line and get herself 48 hours until her next match?
Well, she might need one of Goran's serves at this moment, just to make the points as short as possible.
Thank you.
That was way off.
Let second service.
What a second serve.
15-11.
She's really having to fight through this, because even if she misses her first serve, the grimace in between is, you can tell she's feeling it. And also even after that backhand was a beautiful backhand, and she still kind of hesitated to straighten up at the end.
Well, in her own way, this is a real fight from Rybakina. She's been handed a lot of gifts today from Yastremska, who perhaps hasn't played the smartest match, but she's dug very deep as the 6th seed.
Basically, she just has to find a way how to get through 2 more points, and then 48 hours can make a lot of difference. A lot of treatment. She's got a physio with her that travels all the time. So it's really about the next couple of seconds, how she can still manage. She's done such a good job until now.
A 30-all.
Yastremska is suddenly looking very lively at the baseline, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. And, you know, she should show her opponent that, right? How much energy she still has, how focused she still is. You can see it in her face.
Well,
40-30.
you don't want to be too harsh. You two have both been out there in the heat of battle. It's hard to think clearly, but there's been a lot of moments here where she's only had herself to blame, Yastremska.
Yep.
Match point number 6.
Use.
First serve percentage has been on the decline throughout this second set.
Advantage, Rybakina.
You're welcome, Elena, for that commentator's curse. 6 millimeters of line, that one caught. And match point number 7. And there it is. A wounded warrior, but Elena Rybakina is through to the 4th round. 6-3, 6-4. Well, an incredible fight today. Must be a real swirl of emotions for the former finalist here. She will be worried.